Today, the topic of discussion is three gunas, three qualities. Maya, which is also known as Prakriti, is said to consist of three gunas, known as Sattva, Raja, and Tama. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. The word guna is usually translated or poorly translated into English as quality. The word guna actually, which does not give the actual sense if it is translated as quality. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas are not qualities of Maya in the same sense that hardness is the quality of iron, or softness is the quality of butter, or heat of fire. Actually, here the three gunas are the ingredients of Maya. Like poorly people translate that Brahman's attribute is Satchidananda, Satchidananda. It is not. Sat is Brahman, Chit is Brahman, Ananda is Brahman. Brahman is Satchidananda. It's not Brahman's attribute is Satchidananda. Likewise, Maya's quality is Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. It is not. Sattva, Raja, Tama are the ingredients of Maya. They may be compared to three strands which constitute the rope of the snake. Just a minute, please. Yes. So the thing is, suppose the rope of Maya, the rope by which Maya binds man to the illusory world. Maya has no existence independent of the gunas. The three gunas are present in varying degrees in all objects, gross or subtle, including the mind, the buddhi, the intellect, and ego. The food which nourishes our body, the thought which is the function of the mind, the duty which elevates a man from animal level, like charity, worship, sacrifice. In short, everything belonging to the universe of Maya contains these three gunas. At the end of a world cycle, you know, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya, Srishti Sthiti Pralaya. Creation, sustenance, dissolution. Again, creation, sustenance, dissolution. This world or this universe, it is not new. It has been created, sustained, resolved, or dissoluted. Again, it has been created. This is our concept. So, at the end of the world cycle, when names and forms go back to the state of non-manifestation or involution, the gunas remain in a state of non-differentiation or equilibrium. This is called the seed state of the universe, Bija Avastha. It is described as the sleep of the cosmic soul, deep sleep, the cosmic soul. Maya, in association with Brahman or pure consciousness, at that time exists as the cause alone, without any of its manifestation. Suddenly, this equilibrium is disturbed by the will of the Lord, and the gunas begin to assert their individual characteristics. Different objects, subtle and gross, come into existence. This tangible universe manifests itself step by step. Rajas and Tamas have opposing characteristics, while Sattva strikes the balance between the two. The principal trait of Rajas is energy, and from it has, emanated the primal flow of activity. Through its power, the phenomenal universe alternates between evolution and involution, means manifestation of names and forms and their recession into the seed state. The visible effect of rajas in a human being, for instance, is a ceaseless activity through which expression is given to ambition,
Hello?
lust, anger, uh, you know, avarice, arrogance, egotism, envy, pride, jealousy, and so forth. Under its influence, a man becomes violently attached to the world. Rajas is the source of suffering. Our Rajasic Sattva, our Rajasic Avastha is the cause of our suffering, the source of our suffering. So, what about Tamas? Tamas is the veiling power that hides the true nature of a thing and makes it appear as other than what it really is. The influence of tamas is seen in man in his ignorance, in lassitude, dullness, inadvertence, and stupidity. When tamas predominates over sattva and rajas, the man goes to sleep or remains inactive, lazy. Whenever you will find a person is lazy, doesn't want to work, or always sleepy, always remember tamas overpowered him or her. The inferior-most part of Maya he is addicted with. The inferior quality has overpowered that person. A sadhaka, a student, should be always conscious, should always know that in which state I am belonging now. I am in sattva or in rajas or in tamas. Whenever the laziness will come unnecessarily, or most of the time in a day, a sadhaka or student should say himself or herself, oh my God, I'm overpowered by tamas. I have to inculcate rajas because it's a step, Direct tamas, sattva doesn't come. And the beauty is sattva and rajas look same. Like dusk and dawn, usha और गोधूली दोनों को सेम देखने में लगता है. But one happens early in the morning, another early in the evening. So after dawn, there is bright sun. After dusk, there is no sun. But before that, it looks same. Likewise, a tamasika person can tell that I am doing meditation. You go to the meditation hall, my dear students. I have been to many places, many temples, many meditation courses, even in Himalayas, in Narmada, everywhere the same story. In meditation, they're stayed. They are overpowered by tamas. Always remember. So that conscious life is needed for a sadhaka, for an aspirant, or for a student. That in which state I am now in. Tamas is the veiling power, hidden the truth, true nature. So when tamas predominates over sattva and rajas, he goes to sleep, remains inactive. It deprives a man of a right judgment or, you know, definite belief and subjects him to doubt and uncertainty. Uh, After tamas has veiled the true nature of the self, rajas exerts its projecting power and creates the many fantasies that constitute an unenlightened man's practical life. And alas, even scholars well versed in philosophy cannot escape its hypnotic spell. It is the mother of delusion. तमगुण मोह की माँ है. That inferior quality is the mother of delusion. सारे भ्रांति का बीज है. Sattva is the giver of happiness and is the real friend of a man. In this effort to realize truth, it manifests itself in man as humanity, as humility, guilelessness. Guile means Guile. Guile means chal. In Bengali, cholona. কোনো ছলনা নেই সেই মানুষের মধ্যে. No disguise. He should be self-controlled. There should be manifestation of unselfishness, purity, pavitrata, contentment, tushti, truthfulness, satyata, fearlessness, nirvikta, faith, shraddha, devotion, bhakti, yearning for liberation, mumukshutva, mumukshutvam, and other similar spiritual attributes, which is manifested by Sattva itself. When Sattva predominates, a man feels detached with respect to the world, lessens his physical activities. It is not dullness, it is not laziness. This is called Naishkarmya. It intensifies his contemplation and strives in various ways to attain peace and blessedness. Through the cultivation of sattva, both rajas and tamas are kept under control. So a sadhaka should be conscious for development of his or her own sattva inside through everything, and by living a conscious life. A sadhaka should eat sattvic food, should think sattvic matter, should engage himself or herself in sattvic event every day, every moment, and in a conscious way, because it's very easy to get slipped. How the rajas and tamas come suddenly, that a sadhaka can't understand. I worked as a volunteer in prison at least for 10 years. There I used to go and motivate the inmates, and I used to chat with them how nice people are inside the jail. You have no idea. And I have talked how that happened. They told Swamiji, suddenly happened. I don't know how I lost my control. I used to think why it happened. Then after Vedanta came into my life, then I understood that there was lack of consciousness in living. We have to be very, very conscious that what I am doing, if I sleep also, I have to be conscious that yes, I am sleeping. I know that. If I commit anything else, I should know that yes, the wrong thing I am committing. Then only you will try to recover it. So for a sadhaka, living a conscious life is very, 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 very important. At every step, at every breathing, before breathe in, you should know I'm breathing. Before breathe out, you should know I'm breathing out. If you don't do, please practice it from now. I am listening to the class. You should be conscious about it. There should be a nice balance of emotion and intellect. That is the actual aspirant's life. The three gunas always exist together. There cannot be pure sattva. It is true. Because without rajas and tamas, in a thing, only sattva, it is not possible. Without sattva and tamas, rajas also, pure rajas is not existing. And without sattva and rajas, pure tamas doesn't stay. Okay. So the difference between the being, one being and another lies in the varying preponderance of the guna. That in the thing, like, suppose in water, the solid portion is also there, but liquidity is the predominant. So when we are working, we are active, mainly our rajas quality or raja guna seems predominant, and it is. But for a jnani, he is always sattva pradhana, always predominant by sattva. But it appears he is working, he is doing, but you will easily find the difference with the common man and the man with the man of realization. His thinking, his working quality, everything else. The three gunas, it must not be forgotten, belong to Maya or Prakriti or ignorance, which includes everything in nature, inorganic, organic, and psychic. They are the characteristics of relativity. As long as a man is attached to any of them, he is a phenomenal being and not a free soul. Even the gods, the many gods and angels are under the influence of the gunas. The gods or superhuman beings show a preponderance of sattva. Men of rajas and people, the human being are mainly of rajas predominant, and subhuman beings of preponderance of tamas. Brahman alone, untouched by Maya, is beyond the gunas. Sattva also binds a man with attachment to happiness. Rajas with attachment to activity, means rajas bind a man with attachment to activity, and tamas binds a man with attachment of delusion. But all gunas bind, even sattva also. So there is a story that three gunas may be compared with. That one person was sleeping. Hmm. So suddenly three dacoits, three robbers came and they took him with them. But the person was very poor, so robbers, and very weak also, little sick. So they were going through a jungle. So the robbers or the dacoit thought that what we should do with this useless fellow, because he has no money, no wealth. At the same time, he is sick, so he is useless. So three gunas may be compared to three robbers who waylay a man in a forest. One robber who represents Tamas wanted to destroy him, kill him. But at the persuasion of Rajas, the second robber, so, I'm sorry. So, the thing is, one of the robbers wants to destroy him because he was the sign of Tamas. But at the persuasion of Rajas, the second robber, he thought, no, we will not kill. So he bound that person's hand and foot to a tree and relieved of all his treasures. After some time, Sattva, the third robber, returns, frees the man from his bondage. The compassion is the symbol of Sattva. Takes him gently, cut off the forest, and sets him on the highway leading to his house. Then Sattva also takes leave of him because he too, being a robber, does not dare accompany the man out of the forest for fear of the police. Tamas wants to destroy a man. Rajas binds him to the world and robs him of his spiritual treasures. Sattva sets him on the path to freedom. Tamas is to be overcome by Rajas and Rajas by Sattva. But finally, Sattva also is to be given up if the aspirant seeks total freedom or moksha. Truth lies beyond the three gunas. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.